I've been to your home. It's you have quite a collection there, both of incunables and early materials, and then the shelf with Dr. Yamamochi the other day, just with your own works. This one here, How Africa Shaped the Christian Mind, Rediscovering the African Seedbed of Western Christianity. Some of what you've talked about there kind of is inextricably linked with your studies here. You want to talk a little bit about this book?
This book expresses the consensus of our group of scholars that the importance of African intellectual history, African textual history, especially in the Christian tradition, has not been adequately grasped either by us in the West or by people in Africa. For example, at the time that Origen and Clement were writing, this was around 190, 200 AD, all of these methods and a lot of the wisdom associated with the interpretation of Scripture had already been developed, was very sophisticated by 215, 230 AD. Those methods of inquiry into the text of Scripture were later understood, picked up by people in the Palestinian, Christians in Palestine, and then later by Cappadocia, which is where some of our greatest minds came from in the patristic tradition, and then last is Europe. So what this really amounts to is a flow of intellectual energy from south to north, that is from Africa to Europe finally, and to America finally actually. So we began to realize how much had been missed in the scholarly literature on this, and we began to realize it covers so many areas. For example, the history of the university. If you ask, where did the university come from? Well, you could talk about a lot of different models, but there's among the available probable models, there's no place better than Alexandria. The Alexandria Library was the best in the world at the time the New Testament was written. Absolutely the best. No competition except perhaps from Rome. And it was there that, according to the African memory, Mark came to Africa, from which he had come. Mark, by African memory, was born in Libya, died in Alexandria. So the African Christian tradition really emerged right there in Alexandria and right in the middle of just a marvelous tradition of literary, philosophical, intellectual study.